Right now it's 6. What's causing the reported rise of lead poisoning in La Crosse kids? And St. Patrick's Day celebrations in La Crosse, how several schools spent the holiday.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown. Ken is off tonight. We start with breaking news. Adam Fravel is appealing his conviction in the murder of Madeline Kingsbury to the Minnesota Supreme Court. The appeal was filed today. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole on December 17th for killing Kingsbury, the mother of his 2 children. He's currently in prison in St. Cloud, Minnesota. The New Richmond man accused of killing his wife is bound over for trial. 70-year-old Gordon Lasko faces first-degree intentional homicide. Earlier this month, his wife, Mary Lasko, was found dead in rural Polk County. Lasko is held on a $1 million cash bond. His arraignment is set for March 26th. An Eau Claire teen accused of murder appeared in court this afternoon. 18-year-old Dumarian Stogner pled not guilty to first-degree intentional homicide charges in the January shooting death of 21-year-old Andre Simmons Jr. Police say the shooting happened in the 2700 block of Western Avenue. A rollover wreck on I-94 today. The Eau Claire Fire Department says the vehicle rolled over and was engulfed in flames. The driver was able to get out and was treated by medics. The accident is still under investigation. A stunning report: more and more La Crosse children are testing positive for lead poisoning. So why exactly is this happening? News 8 Now's Grace Monk has the answer.
County health officials are encouraging parents to have their children tested for lead poisoning. They say it's something that can often go undetected for years. Last year, the health department had 14 children test positive for lead poisoning. 593 1- and 2-year-olds were tested, while more than 1,600 were not. Most cases come from lead-based paint in homes built before the 1950s. Poisoning can lead to developmental delays, learning disabilities, and behavioral problems.
We really want to increase the number of tests, because if we don't get them tested, then we don't know if there's been exposure to lead. And the earlier you can find that out, the more interventions that can be done to help that child.
The DHS recommends children receive testing between ages 1 and 5. Parents can find more information by visiting the health department's website. In La Crosse, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
Senator Tammy Baldwin's Hands Off Medicaid tour kicked off in La Crosse today. It's part of her efforts to highlight the impacts of potential funding cuts to Medicaid. The event featured speakers that would be affected by the cuts.
For these families, it means the difference between incredible medical debt or the need to leave the workforce, these are things that we need to keep in place.
Over 1 million Wisconsinites are enrolled in Medicaid. Baldwin's tour hits Eau Claire tomorrow. Around 200 protesters gathered in Winona today. Participants voiced their support for Ukraine and Palestine while criticizing the Trump administration. It is the 3rd Monday in a row residents gathered against the administration. Organizers say they gathered to voice their support of democracy.
Never doubt that a small, committed group of people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And I believe that. And so that's why we're here, because we love America and we don't want to see what's happening happen.
The rallies are expected to continue from 5 to 5:30 p.m. each Monday at the intersection. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will be in Eau Claire tomorrow. He's hosting a town hall at the Pablo Center at 6 p.m. The focus: Elon Musk's influence in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Walz will be in Representative Derek Van Orden's district.
The reason Tim Walz is coming to the 3rd Congressional District of the state of Wisconsin is because Tim Walz wants to run for president in 4 years. That's why he's here. He doesn't care about Wisconsinites. He doesn't care about working people. He doesn't care about veterans. Doesn't care about seniors. And that's abundantly true and it was made abundantly clear by his incredibly disastrous political presidential and vice presidential run that he did with Kamala Harris.
Wisconsin DNC Chair Ben Wickler will also be in attendance. The village of Stoddard and town of Bergen are reactivating a burning ban. It was reinstated this morning. The DNR says it's back in place due to gusting winds, temperatures, and low humidity. The ban isn't expected to last long as winter weather moves in later this week. And in true fashion, we're ending the last days of winter with a wintry mix ahead. Let's send it over to Greg for the details on that.
Yeah, definitely March can really display some blockbuster snow events. 2005, if you remember, that was St. Patrick's Day where a combined 17 inches fell in La Crosse too. So we can get some big events here, and it's much needed moisture really that we do. But it is Wednesday that's going to be the worst travel conditions going into Wednesday evening. Highest amounts, higher elevations. This could really depend on elevation versus valley versus ridge line when you change over and how much we get too. But definitely travel conditions are going to be bad during this period. Right now that band of 6 to 8 could definitely shift further south or east depending on how it changes over, and certainly we could see a narrow area into that 6 to 8 that has a lot more, but it does tail off pretty quickly as you go to southern Wisconsin because the changeover won't occur till late. Now we are dealing with elevated fire conditions right now. These relative humidities are still quite low this evening, probably for the next 3 to 4 hours with the wind. Still conditions out there, but we're going to at least see that improve a little bit tomorrow, but still pretty low. Overall, towards this evening, we're looking at very nice conditions, 49. Those winds will die off pretty quickly. That's the positive news in both locations. Mainly clear skies with a few clouds coming later tonight, but 46 as we get to Eau Claire. Overnight lows, still mild, light winds, increasing clouds. So overall, not too bad of a start to Tuesday. Later on, we'll break down what it's going to look like, all that snow and rain, how much, time it out, and then show what it looks like as we go into the later half of the week, too. All that coming up a bit later.
All right, thank you, Greg. The Pink Palace was demolished today. The building was originally built in the 1880s. A new $22 million development called Haven on Main will replace it. The new 74-unit building will be an inclusive and accessible apartment complex. It's set to open in early 2026. Happening tomorrow, in-person absentee voting for La Crosse starts. Voting will be open until March 28th. The deadline to request a ballot by mail is the 27th. To look up your registration and track your ballot, go to myvote.wi.gov. A quick programming note, News Channel 8 is hosting a La Crosse mayoral debate. It's a chance to hear from both candidates, Chris Kalo and Shondell Washington Spivey. The debate is at 7 p.m. live in our studio. You can watch it on 8.2 and our digital platforms. The Shamrock Club of La Crosse was busy today. They helped several schools and assisted living facilities celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Musicians, dancers, and the Irish Fest mascot, Clancy O'Cooley, all took part.
Good to have the kids, listening to us tell stories about our Irish heritage and culture, sharing that hopefully with them, with their families at home. And if they don't know anything about the Irish culture, hopefully the Shamrock Club Irish Fest, that we can do a good job of helping them with information with that.
The Greater La Crosse Area Shamrock Club was started in 1973. Coming up, Students for Change. An elementary school speaks out to create change on the playground.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
Where there's a flooded basement, there's a solution. Where there are wet spots or musty smells, there's an answer. Where wood damage or dry rot is stealing home value, there's an expert. American Waterworks. For wet basements, wood damage, and effects of dry rot, American Waterworks professional crack repair, waterproofing, sump pumps, and vapor barriers provide long-lasting solutions to tough problems. Wherever moisture problems surface, there's an answer. American Waterworks. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
At Vernon Memorial Healthcare, we believe in your birth, your way. From prenatal visits to postpartum care, we provide continuous support, respect your birth plan, and ensure a smooth transition from pregnancy to parenthood. With expert lactation consultants and a comforting home-like environment, we're here for you before, during, and after delivery. Vernon Memorial Healthcare, where your journey is in caring hands.
I was in a very bad relationship. After that, I made it my mission to help people. Brad Schimmel really wanted to know, how can we help survivors? He got right in there with me and did the work that needed to be done. I know Brad, the person, and I know how passionate he is about helping people. Women, sexual assault victims, children. He has made it his life's mission to help families. I know that about him.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
Kindergartners at Northwoods Elementary are working hard to bring change to their school. News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains the project and how the kindergartners are using their voices.
We're fixing our playground.
Kindergartners at Northwoods International School are making their voices heard. It's part of a unit about how they express themselves.
Something we talked about is when people have big feelings or emotions, a way they express that is to take some sort of action to make a change.
The students decided they wanted to fix some issues on their playground.
The spider web was broken, like the wood border, because the wood chips were getting where they weren't supposed to be. The shed is broken and our toys have to come inside.
The students brainstormed who to reach out to about the issues and how to share their message.
Some people did phone calls and I made a poster.
They also sent out letters to local leaders who are now taking notice.
Our superintendent was actually at Northwoods doing a presentation to the kindergartners about something else a couple weeks ago, but then spent some time talking about the project.
Thanks to the students' hard work, they've seen some real change.
The spider web did get replaced. That was really cool too, because the kids thought, oh, this is something I wrote about or I made a video about, and it was happening.
While the students are enacting change, Hooper is also seeing a change in them.
One of the things kids have talked about is the tire chips not being in the right spot and it not being safe. So at recess, kids will be digging up tire chips from different parts and putting them under the swings or the slides.
They might be the community's smallest change makers right now, but this playground activism is only the beginning.
Our hope is that they take what they're learning and carry it on, through their childhood and into adulthood and continue trying to make our community a better place.
Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Fergut, News 8 Now.
Allison, thank you. Hooper has done the unit for more than 6 years, but she says this year's project has led to the most direct change. Well, we'll have more news ahead, but first...
Definitely have dry conditions for Tuesday, but didn't get ready for winter to come back Wednesday. We have snow, heavy snow at times, travel issues, travel impacts. We'll break it all down for you coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
At Ashley, we're celebrating 80 years of innovation, style, and value. Discover our selection of luxury pieces for designer looks without the high-end price tag. Plus, eye-catching curated deals under $5.99. Don't miss the Ashley 80th anniversary sale.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
There's nothing more important to me than keeping my family safe. If someone ever hurt my wife or kids, I don't know what I would do. But I know Brad Schimmel wouldn't do a damn thing. He's repeatedly given violent criminals light sentences and let 6,000 rape kits go untested for 2 years, while rapists walked free. He even blamed an underage girl for being sexually assaulted. That's disgusting. And it's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Celebrate Ashley's 80th anniversary with a new mattress by Ashley Sleep, starting at $499.99. Plus 0% interest for 80 months when you buy in store. Don't miss the Ashley 80th anniversary sale.
Yeah, before we get to that winter weather Wednesday, we definitely have a decent conditions for Tuesday, but there's going to be quite a gradient of temperatures here. So if you're near Prairie du Chien, mid to upper 60s, there's going to be kind of a front kind of sitting stalled right across the area. As you're on the other side, upper 40s, low 50s, so still mild, but definitely a difference in lighter winds. The winds will be turned on to the east too. So overall, not too bad of a Tuesday, but then things definitely go downhill as we get towards Wednesday too. Right now, the winter storm watches, really this is where you're going to have probably the most snow or highest snow rate in a certain amount of time frame on Wednesday that cause the most significant issues, and that's why the watch is out. As you see, it's a very narrow area because of this time of year, that rain to snow line can be very tricky to challenging to forecast. And outside of the area, you could drop off quite a bit from about 20 inches in some areas, well, not this type of event, we'll probably have 12 or so inches to almost nothing too. And that's why it's a very narrow area that typically ends up. Right now, the 6 to 8 inches kind of been centered along Eau Claire, just north of Winona, up to just Eau Claire, and then further northeast. This has kind of been wavering. If we do change snow a little bit earlier, then we could expand that. 3 to 6 across down. And if you get to southwest Wisconsin, they likely won't see that change over till later Wednesday afternoon or evening. So that's why the amounts will be far less. But even though you're going to change, it's still going to be some pretty treacherous travel conditions, even if you don't get like 1 to 3 inches of snow. If we kind of look at when we think the transition, and this is a tricky thing, is when it's going to turn from a rain to actually all snow. West and north of Eau Claire, I think it's going to be early Wednesday morning. They may start off snow too, but it's going to be further towards Menominee, towards Minneapolis, and those areas that will have that changeover. Late Wednesday morning, northwest La Crosse. It'll get closer to La Crosse probably by noon or just early afternoon, but I think Winona to Black River Falls, that area, will have the changeover then. Around La Crosse, it'll probably be noon to early afternoon, and definitely by the evening hour or when we sunset time, or even the Wednesday evening commute, that's when the changeover will probably happen south and east of La Crosse. So this time could change, but that's kind of what the idea we're looking at right now. Road conditions, Wednesday morning, I think mainly wet. We'll have rain going on late Tuesday night through Wednesday morning. Even if we do change over to snow in some areas, it won't be a significant issue quite yet. The noon to evening commute, that's when it's going to be slushy to snow-covered roads, depending on the type of road you have and how much traffic's on it. I think that Wednesday evening commute could be very messy going into the after that time frame. And don't forget Thursday morning, the precipitation is going to end Wednesday night, but temperatures are going to go below freezing. I don't think we'll have enough time to dry out too much, so slick spots, icy spots, maybe even some snow patch covered roads could be a problem for your Thursday morning commute. Timing it all out and looking at this graphically now, you can see how it's going to be. What of a challenge is when that turnover happens. So you can see by 7:30, here's that line, pretty much west of Menominee. By the time we get to about 10, 11, now it's Eau Claire down to Winona area. You're starting to see a changeover. Thunderstorms are possible ahead of this too, so don't be surprised you see a rumble of thunder through Wednesday morning. By the time we get to 1 or 2, now it's getting closer to La Crosse. You start seeing a little bit more mix. By the time we get to 5 or 6, it's now south La Crosse and could be snowing pretty moderately at some times. And then early on, by 6 or 7, it passes through. By the time we get to midnight, all the precipitation pretty much is done with. So that's a good part, but still we'll see falling temperatures and windy conditions too. And winds definitely going to be a problem. In the afternoon time frame as we go, 40 to 45 miles per hour. So blowing and drifting, especially drifting, could be a problem for a lot of areas that could continue Wednesday night. Once we get rid of the mess Wednesday, Thursday overall looks quiet for the first day of spring. The next system we're looking at, which once again could be accumulating snow issue, is next Sunday and Monday. So get out and enjoy the 61 tomorrow, because it certainly won't feel that way come Wednesday.
And then we're ending winter with a bang.
Yes,
like that.
And we got more potential next week. So
next week.
Much needed moisture though. We definitely do need it for fire issues and spring plan coming up.
That is true. Silver lining. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, hear from one of the Badger stars on Wisconsin's draw in the NCAA tournament. Plus, the boys' state tournament is just a couple of days away. Hear from one of the teams looking for a gold ball in D5. Jacob is up next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
I was in a very bad relationship. After that, I made it my mission to help people. Brad Schimmel really wanted to know, how can we help survivors? He got right in there with me and did the work that needed to be done. I know Brad, the person, and I know how passionate he is about helping people, women, sexual assault victims, children. He has made it his life's mission to help families. I know that about him.
The new Nacho Taco Bravo from Taco John's. Our famous beef crispy taco wrapped in a soft tortilla, all held together by refried beans and warm nacho cheese. This is Nacho Average Taco. Get 2 for just $6 only at Taco John's.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's spring jeans sale is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality name brand denim at unbeatable prices. Right now, get a free $20 Blaine's gift card with every $100 purchase of men's or women's Ariat jeans. In our service center, select tires are buy 3, get 1 free for rewards members. And get our best tire price promise. Find a lower price and we'll match it. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
It was just a one-time thing. That's what Brad Schimmel said when he gave a, quote, sweet bargain to a man who sexually assaulted a 10-year-old girl. The sex predator served just 18 months in prison for his crime and got out. A few weeks ago, he was convicted of sexually assaulting a child again. And that was just one time Brad Schimmel let a sex predator loose on our kids. So why would we ever give him another chance? Brad Schimmel, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
The magic of March is something we hear about every year, where some Cinderella teams make deep runs in their respective tournament, but one area team is swapping out the glass slipper for an eye patch. The Cochrane Fountain City Pirates are preparing for their second ever trip to the WIAA state tournament after they downed previously unbeaten Royal back on Saturday in the sectional final. Defense has been the calling card for the Pirates down the stretch, as they've only allowed 4 opponents to crack 60 points all season, and now it's led them to a spot in Madison.
It didn't really hit me till a little bit after I went and hugged my mom, but it overcoming, and you're like really excited.
You know, the kids look up to us and they want to see us succeed and they want to do the same thing. So I'm kind of glad that we've been able to do that and have them watch us.
And thanks to their 26-2 record, CFC is the 1 seed in Division 5. They'll take on Turtle Lake on Friday bright and early at 9:05, and the Pirates will be going for their first ever win at the state tournament.
The biggest thing we've been preaching all playoffs and even all season, enjoy the ride, but yet, why are we doing it? You know, what's the point of why we're here? Why are we working this hard? Enjoy the ride, all gas, no brakes, and just keep working.
Looking forward to that. Well, yesterday the Badgers fell in the Big Ten Tournament Championship for the second consecutive season, falling 59-53 to Michigan. But it wasn't all doom and gloom, as Wisconsin later learned they would be a 3 seed in the upcoming NCAA tournament, and they'll take on Montana, a 14 seed who won the Big Sky Conference. While it was a disappointing result against the Wolverines, the Badgers are hoping to find motivation from this result as they prepare for the big dance.
I mean, we'll just definitely have to use it as fuel for sure. It hurts to lose, and I'm pretty sure you guys can tell it on our face and our reaction in the selection show. But yeah, we're gonna turn around and come together and just do what we've been doing all year, just compete.
Wisconsin is a 16.5-point favorite as of right now, and that game is the third one of the tournament, with tip-off set for 12:30 on TNT. Meanwhile, after their Big East tournament run ended in the semis to the eventual champion St. John's, Marquette gets the 7th seed and will take on 10th seeded New Mexico on Friday at 6:25 on TBS from Cleveland. Golden Eagles sort of limping into the tournament, having lost 3 of their last 4 games. They did make a Sweet 16 run a season ago before losing to NC State. Now, Louver Sports, more news after this.
Working with Maxwell White was amazing. They were professional, answered all of my questions.
I give Maxwell White my highest possible recommendation.
Maxwell White did a fabulous job on our shower install. 5-star plumbing service done right.
Nick Swardson.
Yeah, if you want a relaxing experience, get a massage at the airport. What a treat. The guy's like, all right, just breathe. Flight 403 to JFK! Leaving now, last call! Just breathe. Gate 24, missing child! You're in the rainforest.
Live on tour, Nick Swardson, Toilet Head, Friday, May 2nd at Ho Chunk Gaming, Black River Falls. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Nick Swardson.
I was in a very bad relationship. After that, I made it my mission to help people. Brad Schimmel really wanted to know, how can we help survivors? He got right in there with me and did the work that needed to be done. I know Brad, the person, and I know how passionate he is about helping people, women, sexual assault victims, children. He has made it his life's mission to help families. I know that about him.
Have you checked your sump pump lately? After a big rain, basement flooding can significantly damage your home. Stay ahead and dry with a call to Maxwell White. We have standard pumps along with battery backup systems in case you lose power. Prevent future damage. Contact Maxwell White today.
All right, just a reminder, tomorrow, no issues. Enjoy the 60s or the 40s, depending on location, but then definitely the winter storm comes in Wednesday. Dangerous travel conditions as the rain changes to snow, depending on location. Could be late morning to afternoon. All in all, it's going to be a very mess. The good news is it's March snow. It melts quick. Thursday, spring arrives. More precipitation probably maybe by the end of the week.
A good send-off to winter, right?
Yeah, good hurrah.
Spring into
Last
spring.
hurrah.
Right? Yeah. All right, thank you for joining us at 6. We'll see you at 10.